Greetings, geeks. Welcome to episode 840 of Geeks in Space. I am Remote Commander Taco Malda, and I am today joined by two of the greatest geeks you're ever going to meet in pretend low Earth orbit. I have Chris DeBona.
Hello, I am Chris DeBona.
Rob Roseboom.
Hi.
Our windows are all crazy. Somebody in Discord say something. See if it works.
Dude, we don't have any listeners that are that on the ball.
No, I'm saying you.
Come on.
I'm saying you.
Oh, me. Okay.
Hi, beta tester.
Hello. There.
Hey, look at that. See, check it out. You're on the screen.
That's a massive icon.
I know. I just put it up there so it would have a placeholder for now. We'll figure it out later.
Yeah, there's nothing that could possibly go wrong with this.
Do you not trust Ombaloo? Or is it Magnum that's the problem?
We have so few actual active listeners that it's unlikely we'll see a penis,
But eggplants.
or whatever. Yeah, I did a publicly advertised, video conference during COVID, and we had someone crash it with porn. So I blocked, I rejected them very quickly though.
It happens.
It was very funny.
I think it would like a lot of it would matter too if we started asking for penises. I think we're more like.
Can we not? I mean,
yeah,
I got nothing against the male genitalia. Okay.
It's easily tied for my favorite.
Chris, or just in general?
Just in general.
Let's keep going.
All right.
Okay, so the first one on the list, I meant to mention this one last time, but I don't know if you guys watch Summoning Salt, but Summoning Salt is my jam. And he put up the history of Tetris World Records. And this video is just fantastic. It's like 2 hours long.
Wow.
And what's really cool about it, and we've kind of talked about this a little bit with stories over the years here, I think, but it starts off with people talking about how they would max it out, and somewhere around, you get 9999999, like that's the max score. And then for a long time, that's kind of the record. And then it goes into sort of a kill screen, which is so fast that it's essentially unplayable.
Yeah.
And then the whole thing is about how they find new techniques to make this unplayable kill screen playable. And then eventually they play it so long in the unplayable kill screen that the game starts having all sorts of weird overflow problems. And this is it's 2 hours long, and I love Summoning Salt. I think that this guy just makes dry material so fun and interesting, and this video is a fantastic watch.
I bet.
You get to the part they're at there is they call it the colors. It's like somewhere around like level 100 or something. The colors start messing up, and they explain what the palette bug is in the NES that causes the colors to change. It's really great.
That's pretty neat.
The other thing that's fun is they talk a lot about the physical techniques required to actually move the pieces fast enough to get them to the edges, because you got to press those buttons so fast. Anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
it's awesome, and you should watch it. The next one that I had on the list is we talked about this one a few months ago. The Star Trek Enterprise model that was allegedly on Gene Roddenberry's desk for years and years, and then disappeared for years and years, and then showed back up again. The story continues to be interesting. Apparently, the story, like I'll butcher the facts of this because I'm not a true journalist, but essentially it's probably the real thing, but it seems like the auction house kind of pressured the guy that found it into selling it for far less than it was worth.
Yeah.
And they're like, I think they said something. I'm not looking at the article, but I think they said something to the effect of they got 500 grand for it, but they should have probably gotten at least 800. There was a whole
Yeah,
thing
they're saying 800 was the estimated value.
So it sounds like maybe the auctioneers maybe did these guys wrong. I don't know. But it's an interesting story.
So it was part of a storage unit sale.
Yeah, can you imagine finding that storage unit?
It's crazy, I wonder, possession is 9/10, but not really. Like, how did it come to be in that? Whose storage unit was it?
So if you
Was it
read
like
the histories, they explain it, but there's a
yeah,
lot of gray area where
missing since the 1970s when it was loaned to the makers of Star Trek: The Motion Picture? The whereabouts of the model became the subject of conspiracies.
there you go. Hey Magnum. Uh,
Jello.
So yeah, I don't know. This is an interesting story. I guess somebody had to get screwed, right?
Well, it's one of those things where, if this was loaned out so someone could do some work on it or display it and then it was never returned, that's just theft,
Right.
right? So profiting from theft is actually not okay
Exactly.
either. So what does it mean? I'm not saying this is like Nazi stealing Jewish art, right? But it's just because they bought the storage unit doesn't really
Right.
scrub it free of its
this is
theft.
a nuanced
Yeah.
story.
So
and it's wrapped up with the fact that it is like this is apparently the very first model.
Honestly, I would have taken 1 million pictures and sold it for 500 grand.
Yeah,
and walked away happy because, like, the 300,000 difference, they're never going to see it. It's just going to go in lawyer pockets.
Well, and taxes and yeah, like they're not gonna.
And it's up if it's up for auction, right? It's up for auction.
Yeah.
Like they could have is there a complaint that if they started higher, it would have gone higher?
I think the issue is that they didn't actually sell it at auction. They sold it to experts who are going to sell it.
They sold it to Rod.
Oh, I see.
Oh yeah, they sold it to Rod based on what the experts told them that it would sell for at an auction.
Yeah, they're saying so. The experts basically said to them, "Listen, this thing was stolen. They have a claim. So the easy thing to do is take 500 grand and run away." Yep. And so they did, and now they're like,
changed my mind.
Harder. And it's like, I don't think Roddenberry is selling it. So it's the idea that it has value, that it could have gotten an auction. It's like, well, would you have been able to auction it, or would have they put a claim on it saying, this was stolen?
For sure.
And
I feel like this is also.
I'm no space prop lawyer. Okay.
No.
I don't know the.
You're only qualified to talk about pretend space artifacts.
That's true.
From your cupola in pretend low Earth orbit.
Yeah, exactly. So it could be, you should have like one of the legal channels,
There you go. Legal Eagle.
Talk about this. Like Legal Eagle. Yes.
All right. I want that guy to tell me about it and not us. But it is a really weird story. And the fact that it's like the real model is really cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very special model.
It belongs in a museum, as they say.
Well, not in the storage unit in, Culver City or whatever.
Also true. All right. The next one that I have on the list, we can talk about ScarJo and the OpenAI voice. You followed this one?
Yeah. Oh, of course.
This is everywhere.
Kidding? It's everywhere.
So I guess the at the demo, OpenAI demonstrated the voice they called Sky, and it was kind of flirty and it was kind of fun, and everybody was like, "Hey, that really sounds a lot like Scarlet Johanson." And it turns out that
it's not husky like her voice is husky, though. It's just flirty like she was flirty in her.
Sure.
It's like, that's not. The thing is, I don't think they should have taken down the voice, frankly.
Yeah.
If they really didn't base it on her voice, her
That's
recorded
true. That
phones,
does make them look awfully guilty.
They shouldn't have taken it down. They should have said, well, we did try to license her voice. Absolutely. That would have been super cool. She didn't want to do it. So we created a new one with a different actress, and you might think it sounds like her, but her just sounds like a flirty person. So, they should have just come out and said, listen, Scarlett Johansson's awesome. We really wanted to use her, but we couldn't. Yep. So we didn't. And that y'all think that sounds like her, great. She's a great actress.
But this is like a classic problem, right? When people do impersonations, like there's been cases where people do impersonations of famous people in commercials, things like that. That's sketchy without putting AI into it, and also the fact that he literally texted her, he tweeted her like when asking to describe the voice, like
Sure.
there's no doubt what the intention is.
Yeah, but at the same time, how many times have they talked about like Snow Crash and not paid Neil Stephenson?
Of course.
How many times have they talked about every AI going back to, you know, I don't know, the Mechanical Turk? Hell, they named the Mechanical Turk after the Mechanical Turk, and they didn't pay some random Mechanical Turk scammer, did they? It's like, at some point, you know, it's culture. It's not, it doesn't belong to anyone. You know, we have to be able to be creative on the backs of history without having to keep on paying royalties for the rest of our, you know, natural lives of the civilization. It's like, for fuck's sake, this is why I got into open source in the first place. You know, you should be able to build on the shoulders of giants from hundreds of years ago, you know, without having to, you know, give up a monopoly. Everyone's like a latent royalist or monarchist. They're like, well, we have to give the king his due. Why? We rejected that.
Anyway. Okay, so there's like a whole bunch of overlapping things. Like, nobody's going to argue that you should be able to rip off Beethoven, and nobody's going to argue that you should be able, like the stuff that's in the creative.
Wait, you shouldn't be able to.
You should be able to. You should be allowed to rip off Beethoven.
Should be
that's
able
the Creative Commons, right? Everything before the copyright line, the Mickey Mouse event horizon. Like the question is, this is maybe,
and honestly, why aren't these people paying you know, Kevin Lenzo a you know, a spiff for writing Pearl, the first, you know, chatbot that people were falling in love with ridiculously?
Of course.
It's like, you know, when do we stop? You know, when does it stop?
Well, I guess when the person with the deepest pockets wins the lawsuit against somebody with the smaller pockets,
I guess.
I don't know. This is an interesting one, primarily because she literally is still alive, still using that voice, and then we can argue whether or not the
voice is different. You know,
the message that she wrote, the statement that she made, said it was close enough to fool her friends. I mean,
let me tell you something. So
maybe her friends are dumb.
You know the comedian Jim Gaffigan, right?
Yeah.
Goofy guy. He sounds exactly like Jeff Bates.
Yeah, we should sue
Jeff
him.
Bates either should be getting a royalty,
who's older,
or should be paying one, right?
Who's older?
You know,
I think Gaffigan's got him beat.
All right,
I think Gaffigan's a little older. He's got more kids.
All right, then Bates.
Barely.
Then Bates is in trouble.
Yeah. So there you go. You know, and he's probably got deeper pockets than Bates, so he should. You know, Bates should go mute.
Yeah, probably. Or
I think
he should always talk in a Mickey Mouse
again.
voice. This is my new voice.
You want Mickey Mouse to sue Jeff Bates?
No, because my Mickey Mouse impression is spot on. Like, my Mickey Mouse impression is so good, it's inevitable that I would get sued.
Mickey Mouse is the one who lost to ScarJo last time.
Well, maybe Bates can, you know, bait Disney into suing him and then trade off to Gaffigan. Let those two fight it out. And then he goes and sweeps up whoever's left.
Yeah, because wasn't Gaffigan a voice in one of the Pixar movies?
I don't know.
Sure.
I don't see that guy that much. I see his thumbnail. He's one of those guys that you see a thumbnail on YouTube a lot, but I don't see ever.
Oh, I've watched his specials. He's charming.
Yeah, you know? I've seen like one or two of his things as well, but he's not that often. Yeah, Magnum says maybe ScarJo should go after the actress who was impersonating her, if she exists.
Really, she should go after every actress that could ever have a flirty voice.
Also, redheads.
Yeah, redheads.
Like in general.
Yeah, people who wear pleather and fight evil,
or just attractive women, or just attractive people.
You know,
all attractive people. she's got patent pending on being hot. Sorry, other hot people. ScarJo's coming for you. Okay. Anyway, this will be an interesting one to see how it plays out, won't it?
Guess so.
I mean, this is just a microcosm, I guess, of like. Well, I didn't post any stories about the DeviantArt stuff, but that's been going around a lot too. That they're training models off of their users' art. They're licensing for their art, but they're selling t-shirts with content created with models built from their users' art. So they're
Yeah.
I mean,
but again,
yeah.
What's wrong with being inspired?
I'm
Is it
not
that a computer is doing most of the work?
I'm not making a statement one side or the other. I don't honestly know what this means.
Do you know how many podcasts have copied the Geeks in Space format?
We've been doing it so long.
We've been doing this since 1998. You've been doing it since 97.
I think we recorded the first
99?
one in 98 or 99. We were in Geek House 2.
Yeah.
So that was either late 98
a bunch of
or
unattractive
99.
nerds talking about the news.
We should sue everybody.
I mean, come on. That's every podcast.
Yeah.
Right?
We deserve a lot.
Right? Everyone should be paying us, right?
So
along these lines. It's just so
much royalties.
Come on, man.
It's interesting because there are the people who are actively creating something new with Scarlet Johansson actively creating new art with her voice. There's also then somebody who, like, if you paint, like, can I train a model off of everything that Da Vinci ever painted? Of course I can. So can I paint a model off of everything Kandinsky ever did? Like, and then can I train a model off of all the Marvel movies? Like, there's a gradient here.
Between so many of the Marvel movies are based on previous concepts that he does.
They didn't invent Thor.
Wait, what?
I know. Weird, right? I don't know, man. This is the fundamental thing that we're going to be having problems with over the next decade as AI has more money. Oh. So ultimately, the corporations will win.
I'm more worried about the next story over the next decade.
Yeah, the next one. Okay, but take it, Rob.
I didn't post it. You did.
All right, I did. Microplastics.
Okay, so I've asked ChatGPT to generate a picture in the vein of Da Vinci focused on a thing.
On I'm gonna
bring it up. A very specific thing. Okay, I'm gonna bring it into. I'll bring it into the thing here. One sec.
So while OpenAI is working 1 billion times faster than an artist, dude, they're finding microplastic in testicles. That was the next story.
Not just that they're finding it; they're finding
every testicle, like all the humans and all the animals.
You, me, Rob,
all the balls.
Omblue. Assuming Omblue's a dude.
I haven't even been dredging in plastic. So it's weird.
There you go.
That's not a very Da Vinci looking.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I guess you got your vanishing perspective, but that's not really a Da Vinci thing.
Maybe if the ice cream truck had like a little smirk on its face or something, then maybe. Here,
let me refine my model.
And make it be like a pastel.
You make it more like his mechanical drawings. There.
I tell you, man, I'll sit and play with those things all the time. Do you have
so much fun?
It's so much fun. Do you have?
And actually, if you look at how it has the ice cream balls to the left and right, that's kind of like the current story you're talking about.
That's true. It heard us. It knows. It's listening. It's probably one of our many subscribers. Wait a minute. Is OpenAI Omblue or Magnum? So anyway, yep, they found microplastics in all the balls. So
all the balls.
Oops. Goodbye, window.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Doesn't matter.
I'll fix it. One sec.
I know they found microplastics in tissues and various people and in fish and just about everything. But it's nice to know that specifically they're in testicles too.
Yep. I don't like it. I don't like it one little bit. All right.
I've heard that about you.
That's true. The next one we have on the list is the Smellmaxxing story, Rob.
Yeah, that's crazy.
There you go. There's your. It's a little more. I said more like one of his mechanical drawings, and so they have a lot of nonsense Latin pointers and stuff.
That's a good way to hack that. It's not a good drawing by that, for that prompt, but it's got the hints of it.
Yeah, it's getting closer.
Yeah. You should ask it to be like way less detail, because that's just way too.
It's too modern.
Yeah.
You know, honestly. But I did tell it to make an ice cream truck. Did they even have ice cream back then? Who knows?
That's true.
Okay.
Those poor ancient Renaissance
Smellmaxxing, explain.
What's Smellmaxxing, Rob?
Again, I didn't put the story in.
I did, but
Chris did? I thought you did.
Okay. Yeah, so I just loved the concept of Smellmaxxing. Yeah. So basically, I guess kids with more money than sense are out buying expensive colognes and, you know, social mediaing their use of them, as opposed to, you know, the acts of days yore.
The acts.
So yeah. So I just thought this was kind of funny. That's all.
Spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars
on Axe body spray.
On their equivalent of fancy Axe body spray.
Well, you know, Drakkar Noir when we were kids, or you know, there's always been like,
and then dunking themselves in
I'm
it.
more sophisticated, and it's like, oh, and like there's a great quote in there from one of the teachers where she's like, "Oh my God, are you kidding me with this crap?" Here, let me find it. Hannah Glover, a middle school fitness teacher in South Carolina, has been a little bewildered to see her 11-year-old students coming to school with $160 bottles of cologne. Quote, "These middle school kids are so impressionable. I mean, you can sell them anything." She banned spritzing in her classroom, but it wasn't enough. Glass bottles kept shattering in students' backpacks and unleashing their sense upon the entire school. Quote, "Sometimes I'd rather take the BO," she said.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, oh, man, Hannah Glover, you're the best. You know, like you poor long-suffering thing having to, oh, what is that? Drakkar crap, you know, or, oh no, I would never wear that. Such pedestrian sense. I'm just like, ugh.
Well, as the anosmiac of the group, I wish you all the best.
You should go teach at that school.
I should. Really. Well, I should definitely teach. The impressionable youth deserve my wisdom.
Yeah.
We were actually recently at a school for a reason, and we're talking to a teacher, and that was actually one of the things they were talking about. Just
have your kid shower more.
No, it wasn't even my kid, which was shocking because my child's room should just be burned down and jettisoned from the spacecraft.
It's easier, you know, than cleaning it.
But they were just saying like the difference between the 7th graders and the 11th graders, like it's real, and I believe them. But again, anosmia.
Yeah.
How much water polo have you guys been watching?
Well, more now that Flavor Flav.
I mean, thank God our national treasure stepped up and offered his services.
Filled the void as in the much needed role of hype man.
And for the female water polo team, going for, I believe, their 4th gold medal or 5th. One of the two.
Seems like they're doing pretty good without him.
I mean, it's kind of awesome.
Well, imagine how well they'll do with him as timekeeper and hype man. I mean,
wait a second. Beautiful. Steffens and the U.S. team also have another high-profile supporter in Taylor Swift. I think that's the real story.
Yeah,
hello. Right? Taylor is always greater than Flavor. Nothing personal, Flav. But I mean, come on.
No, Swift trumps Flav.
Flav is working on another tour with Public Enemy that could begin later this year, and held a T-shirt with a picture that said King Swifty. Okay.
Chris,
it's an Ouroboros of nonsense.
Yeah, you still think Flavor Flav and Taylor Swift aren't the same person?
I've never seen them in a picture together.
I haven't.
Yeah, do your research.
Wait, I'm going to look
your research.
Wake up, man. Can we have OpenAI generate a picture of one, but then the other shows up? That'd be so great.
No, I found a picture of them together.
There you go. All right.
At
then
some Billboard award.
Well, of course you did. I mean,
that's what they want.
Look what we can do now. Yeah, I can make a picture of anything.
It's true. You know what? Good on this guy, man. I hope it doesn't sound like this is like a big money deal either. This sounds like he just likes sports.
They may be different people.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
Yeah, he's got a daughter who likes water polo, so he just decided to do it. He's not getting paid.
He's a good dad. You know, good for him. You know.
If my kid decided that he was super into lacrosse, I would, I guess, watch lacrosse, and I would support
biggest
lacrosse.
Hype man for lacrosse ever.
Yeah. Fortunately, if it isn't like Minecraft related, I don't see that my children are going to need a hype man. I don't think Minecraft needs a hype man.
Come on, Steve. Come on, Steve.
You can do it, Steve.
What is this Minecraft you speak of?
Minecraft?
My kids both play some modded Minecraft server that they play on, which is basically like it's basically WoW. They're playing WoW but in Minecraft, which is insane to me. That it's insane to me to listen to my children talk about Minecraft with the same passion that I used to think about WoW. And the same, like all the rules and all the systems are the same, you know, like this event occurs and I get this bonus to this stat and this increases the probability of this. It's exactly the same. Anyway, I guess if there's a water polo game and Flava Flav is commenting or hyping, maybe I'll even watch a game this year.
Okay.
I'm in. We talked a few months ago about the first patient who got the Neuralink implant, and apparently he lost most of the connections, but it's still functioning, I guess. But the story back then was that he was using it to play Civilization, which I thought was pretty awesome. Yeah, that's probably what I would want to do too. But they've apparently got clearance now for their second patient.
So their first patient, you know, about 85% of the Neuralink electrodes, threads, they're calling them, implanted in his brain, had retracted and become unresponsive. That's incorrect. Retracted is the wrong word. They probably plaqued over or fouled, right? So he's still, the remaining 15%, they've adapted the software, but those will go too at some point.
Eventually.
You know? It's not like you rip these things out after you put them in. It's not like they're in like little lubricated, you know, chassis that you can retract, you know. It's like
Yep, turns out nerves are pretty delicate.
They're extremely delicate, right? And I'm assuming they just like laid these across a portion of his brain.
It's hard to get super glue in there.
Yeah.
Gorilla glue. Except they're not allowed to test. They're not allowed to test on monkey brains. They had to go straight to humans.
Have they tried just
I'm sure
using
they
a wire?
No, they did it with monkeys first. Yeah.
Have they tried just using like a wire brush to make the connection better?
Good Lord, man. I told you about my motorcycle wreck as a kid, right? So I basically bounced off a Jeep and I landed on my face, right? And going to the hospital, they had to clear the gravel out of my lip with a wire brush. Oh,
the worst.
Yeah. So like it hurts a lot. Let me just tell you, you know? So the nice thing about your brain is you don't have any nerves inside your brain to feel pain. So they could scrape away until they scrape away something important and then you're dead. But
Yay. I figured they use a soldering gun, but it's probably hard to get that in there.
Well, from my extensive experience in playing that brain simulator, the brain surgery simulator.
You mean
game,
Operation?
I was just thinking,
you got water on the knee?
No, there was a really great. This was like 15 years ago. There was a great PC game that was, you know, operating in a brain. Brain surgery simulator game. Yeah.
I had one that I played the crap out of when I was a kid. What was it called? Intellivision surgery game. I'll tell you the name of it, and you should check this out because this thing is the most stupid thing. It's called Microsurgeon. You can look at the Wikipedia page maybe, or just Google it and find a screenshot. I played the hell out of this game in 1984, maybe. And I tell you, I got an emulator working on my Mister, and the game is terrible, like terrible. And I can't tell you how many hours I played this game. So your brain surgery game is better than this brain surgery game.
Maybe.
For damn sure. Anywho, we had one more on the list. Oh, Rob, I'll let you have this one.
What's this one?
This is the car.
The car.
Well, you know, as we stated before, I really I appreciate the guy's enthusiasm and everything. But if you're, you know, maybe if you've fingered a car for 3 hours and it hasn't beeped, maybe you move on to something else. You know, no one's having a good time.
Yep. So
Wow.
the title is
the guy kissed my wife's car, fingered it for 3 hours, and ran off only when my wife approached to get in the car.
Yeah, evidently this.
What is happening here?
This took place in an area where there's lots of Teslas, I guess. So
and lots of stoned people, is my guess.
They went and complained to the police, and
yeah,
like I can't remember if it was the police
him again
or some other mechanic guy was like, "Hey man, unwrap your car. It's too alluring because the car's pink."
It's
like, hey,
the car was asking for
it.
Yes. That's the argument.
That's the wrong path on that decision tree.
Isn't that the most? Yep. That's the most horrible thing you could say.
Oh my God! The car was asking for it? What was the car wearing? Had the car been drinking?
Yeah. I mean, that is a very attractive.
It was so
thing,
pink.
I have to say, right?
How could you park that car in that way? Yeah. Weren't you just leading him on?
Yeah.
See how wide the tires were?
To be clear, that car looks like it's parked on carpet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
it is. It does seem like it's on carpet, which is a strange choice for a garage, right? Maybe it's like a compacted gravel, you know?
If you're going to be exploring its recesses for 3 hours.
Oh, I mean, stop. God,
it seems you would want carpet, right? Good on your knees.
Yeah, they sort of black highlighted, the window here.
The little eyelashes. They're like,
I'm trying to figure out. They don't have the eyelashes. Come on. If they had the eyelashes, you're like, all right, I guess they were.
Yeah, right.
Makeup.
No eyelashes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
You monster.
Yeah. So I don't know. I just thought that was a great takeaway by the police. And also they said, we're not sure that that's against the law. We're not sure what law he broke, other than just general decency.
I mean, it's super gross that you're touching this car, but
oh man. He should coat the car with like a sticky substance, so when he kisses it or touches it,
it
sticks to it.
Oh, they get that bitter stuff you use for kids or
dogs,
right?
Yeah. The stop spite thing, or wolf urine. Put wolf urine on it.
It's a good thing it's not a Cybertruck. If it was a Cybertruck, it would rust.
I'm pretty sure if you put wolf urine on that car, even weirder people show up. So maybe
no, one of the Smellmax kids shows up. It has hints of wolf urine, It's like, get the 11-year-old away from the pink Tesla,
The story also said that this wasn't the first occurrence. An Audi had also had was similarly violated by somebody else, and there's a picture, so it's real.
Of the Audi?
Of the guy laying on the hood of the Audi.
Oh no! What kind of Audi was it? That's my question.
Or was it an Audi? Maybe it was a Lexus.
I'll find out.
I'm not a car guy.
No, that's an Audi. It looks like an A. It's probably an A7. The car I used to have.
The sexiest of Audis. I mean, could you resist?
It is legit awesome, but I would never.
I mean, but look, that one's not wrapped in pink or anything.
Yeah.
No, but it's very well maintained.
This car was just minding its own business. I'm still up in there about the Tesla.
No, I'm not blaming the car.
This is a good car. This car.
I put 160,000 miles on mine.
Yeah.
I believe
it's
cars.
A good family car. It's a good family car. It's not being showy. It's minding its business, living its best life.
Yeah.
And then this
mother.
There's going to be a lot of therapy. Yeah. Christopher says this behavior is due to the plastic in our testicles.
Yes.
Well done, sir.
Here.
Well done.
Mother Nature.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nature is finding a way.
Nature always finds a way.
Yeah.
You can't resist.
Really
you can't resist the smell of the car, the pink wrap, and
pretty soon it's just
he's wearing those sandals. That's what I noticed about this person. What is this? What does his shirt say? Is that California State? Is he like a San Luis Obispo guy? All right, I gotta zoom in.
We gotta know. Enhance. Feed that to OpenAI.
I don't like that he's pointing his toes. I gotta tell you, there's something about that.
Yeah, it's a little
disrespectful.
Much. Okay, what is this logo? That's not Cal State. Unless Cal State has a really shitty logo.
Well, I thought this was in Korea.
It is.
And I'm not saying that you can't wear a Cal State shirt in Korea, but it seems less likely.
I mean, sure.
This seems like the sort of thing that AI should be able to solve for you. You should be able to say, what is this?
No, I'm doing a Google Lens on it.
Right now. I thought you meant coming up with a wrap that was unsexy enough for your car, so it would be protected.
It just has to look like me.
I found the hoodie.
What's it for?
No, I didn't.
Carlovers.com. Well, do we have any media that's
Oh my God, that's got to be it.
worth sharing?
No, I don't watch movies anymore, evidently.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're not allowed?
It's hard in his
Did
eyes.
they take away your television?
Not yet.
What did I watch? I watched a whole slew of like kind of mediocre things lately.
Yeah.
Moxie wasn't very good. It was Amy Poehler's directing a movie about high school girls. It was kind of heavy-handed. Mother's Instinct had Anne Hathaway and Jessica Chastain in it, and one of them has a son that dies, and then like everything gets all screwed up between the two of them. It's pretty dark, but it never really takes off. I watched The Challengers, the Zendaya tennis movie. It's kind of bored by. Oh, Mars Express. You should watch Mars Express. Mars Express is like a cyber noir animated French film. And it's a really fun one because the whole thing is just like, it's one of those shows where all of the sci-fi ideas are here. You got artificial intelligence, you got people backing their brains up into robots, and you got the Asimov's 3 laws of robotics, and you've got like fancy travel and like weird computers. Like every science fiction idea is kind of all stirred up into this story. It's set in the 2200s on Mars, and there's of course an evil corporation, but it's not like an A+ movie or anything, but it does a really fun job of exploring interesting science fiction ideas. And it's worth a watch if that's your jam. It reminded me of Altered Carbon, kinda, which I really, really liked. But Altered Carbon is another one where it's like the kitchen sink of science fiction movies. Like every sci-fi idea we could possibly fit into our season is here. And this kind of is doing that, but in a movie context. But it's solid. Worth a watch. I need something new to watch. Right now I'm paused.
Well, there's a second season of Extraordinary. We just started it. So
yeah, I've been meaning to start that one too. I just watched. I'm on a Stallone kick. I just watched the very first Rambo, and now I'm watching the very first Rocky.
Okay.
And I haven't seen either of those movies, I think, since high school. And they are both really good movies. Yep,
they're both pretty good.
It's hard because, like, I think of them as the parody, caricaturized version of them that they became. Yeah. And I forget that the original, these 2 movies are really, really good.
Yeah, they're really good.
All right, that's it for me. I don't have any other good media.
I have not found the hoodie yet.
All right.
You're
well, if you do manage to find it, you can save it to the zone and we can kick off next episode.
Yeah, maybe. I don't really want to put that much work into it, though, so I probably will give up.
I kind of felt the same way about, and that's why Rob's window is squished.
Oh, man, it's the slapdash quality.
I know. You've worked in OBS. You know how horrible it is to try to resize.
I actually really like OBS. I'm not going to take your anti-OBS hate, man. Stop that.
Yeah.
I have no idea what's going on with the window. All right, that's it. Let's wrap it up.
We're gonna go bye-bye. All right. Goodbye, Chris DeBona.
Goodbye,
Rob Roseboom.
Bye.
That was episode 840 of Geeks in Space. I was Rob Commander Tacomalda, and we will see you guys next time, maybe with windows with proper aspect ratios. Can you imagine